Yo, what's poppin'? It's your boy Jack OATz to go. You either know or you don't. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. This should be a pretty good one. Pretty light on information, but just some stuff to think about. But yeah, thank you guys for turning on the video, number one. Thank you to the people that are subbed and have been subbed. I appreciate you guys. I'm on my road to 3.5K by the end of November. So if you like this channel, like the information that I give you guys, definitely hit the sub button. If you don't like it, no harm, no foul. Don't sub. We're all chilling. Anyway, let's get on into the information here. So I was doing some reading, as I usually do for Black Clover. And you guys might have saw a post that I made a little less than a week ago, where I say that Crowley refers to two beasts in his version of hell. So that got me thinking, like, okay, this probably actually explains this whole Moris Dante thing, where they have the same markings, and so I guess the first idea I wanted to present to you guys is that with Crowley saying there are two beasts, first I need to explain that in Crowley's clip art, the beast is not the be-all, end-all beast. This one has the highest chance of coming to the world of the living, is the biggest thing. And the thing that makes it the most threatening is that it encompasses every aspect of evil within the clip art. And if you understand what I mean by that, you probably know where I'm going. If not, if you look at the clip art that I have here on the screen, there's only one husk that is connected to every single husk within the clip art, and that is Tigirian, where Belphegor lies. Now, in some past videos, I had also referred to Kiowa as maybe another name of Belphegor. However, I'm starting to think that in Crowley's clip art, these are the two separate beings. So, with that said, on a side note, we got Lilith and Nama already, right? So Nama was the first gate. We got Lilith as the second gate. Lilith was the higher up, which is why she was able to fuse with Nama. We've gone over that. So now the next one that's going to open, if we're using Crowley's clip art, this could be the telling feature that we have. If we are using Crowley's clip art in Black Clover, the next devils that we should see are Belial and Adremelech, which means, like I've been saying in the last few videos, as a correction, instead of Xenon's devil being Belial, it would actually be Samael, which is, yes, the name of this clip art, but it is not the fallen angel down here. This is the actual fallen angel, Samael. And I know we're kind of getting on a tangent now, but this actually makes a lot more sense, rather than it being Beelzebub / Belial, just because we do have Xenon's devil using these spatial magic sorts of things, and then we have Finral and Longreese using magic spells. Of course, they're spatial mages, using names like Fallen Angel, blah blah blah. All of this is going to tie back to really the ones who founded this type of magic, and that could possibly be Samael in that case. So anyway, to get back to this, so I'm starting to think that with the two names listed there, they may not be, other names those devils go by. I believe it might just be the ranking of the devil. So the one lower is the one that is below, of course, the demon that is on top. So in the clip art of Samael, Belial would rule Adremelech, and Adremelech would rule all the other underlings, right? In this case, you have Kiowa and then Belphegor. So what I was thinking was like, okay, so we've seen the silhouette of Lucifer, or Dante's devil, and we see it's got 4 horns, 4 wings, it's huge. And then we get to the first seal opening. We get Lilith and Nama come out. Asta waxes Nama, and then Lilith fuses with Nama. And then we get a being that has 4 horns and 4 wings. So then Now, all of us as a community are thinking like, okay, if it's got more than 2 horns, it's probably more than one devil in there, which is a very valid case. And this could still be the case here. So I've already made a bunch of connections as to why Dante has Belphegor, or in this case, maybe even Kiowa, one or the other. And if you haven't and you're a new subscriber, go back and watch those videos. I would say like the past maybe like 3 videos on Dante and like his powers and all that have been pretty all encompassing of, you know, the point that I've been trying to push for just about a year now. So my stance hasn't really changed, but it has shifted just because now I see that we are more than likely using Crowley's clip art, which means there's going to be a variety of things happening. So with that said, we have that silhouette with 4 horns and 4 wings. So this could possibly mean that this devil was a fusion of the two, and Dante had one aspect of that devil, while the other part of it, the other fused part, if you will, went to Moris, which is why they have the same markings. So here's what's really interesting. Back in the video where I talk about could the triad actually be family, I go on to state something that I found where we have Aishet, which is the 3rd form of Lilith, the eldest one, that I believe to be Magicula, and is the mother of Belphegor, like the direct mother, is a byproduct of a relationship between her and Samael, the fallen angel. However, given that Crowley seems to have separated the two, it is more accurate to say that Samael and Aishet, or Magicula in this case, would have birthed Kiowa, and Belphegor is the devil that rules in Tigirian overall. So I'm just really curious to see how it all just comes together, because I do think they all have something to do with each other. Of course, like I do think they are somehow related with that lovers. They're somehow family, because that seems to be what the lore alludes to. So that's something I wanted to bring to you guys' attention, that I think that these guys are one in the same / different. They're fused devils, which gives us this byproduct of this, what could be imposter Lucifero. And I just want to go over just a few more things, just to kind of push this agenda more. So if you look at Belphegor, you'll find out that like he's known for having like a big mouth, and he's actually is the one to consume everything, right? This is what he's known for. And if we look at Dante, so I've already explained why Dante would have the power that he does, even though it's not exactly consuming everything, right? So just very brief. Remember that the Clipot and the Tree of Life are not only just like placements of demons and angels. This is one of the first heliocentric models of our immediate galaxy, and there's also concepts that explain away our universe and things like that. So it is more than just heaven and hell. It is so many more things. The human condition, the universe, all that stuff. It can be fractalized to kingdom come. So for Dante, he's got the more physical power, where Tigirian is it's the black sun in the Clipot, and then on the Tree of Life, it's called Tiferet, and that is just the sun. And remember, I told you guys that with Crowley, he explains that the black sun, or Crowley and Agrippa explain that the black sun emanates from within and is blocked by the outside. And this is exactly what we see with Dante's 100% form, is that you see light leaking out, but he is not light. And so this doesn't embody, a Lucifer type of devil. So he gets the black sun, and if you think about the universe, or our galaxy at least, the sun has a lot of mass, it has a lot of gravity. So it uses its gravity to make sure that all of these other planets stay in the elliptical that they're on. This is exactly what the Clipbot and the Tree of Life explain as well. Every single one of those spheres have a planetary correspondence. Malkuth being Earth, and then above that is the moon, and everything else, you just look at, there's Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, all that stuff revolves around it, which is why it's connected to everything. And behind it you have Dot, which is the abyss. And if you have kept up with any science, it's believed that one of the generators keeping our galaxy in place, or any galaxy in place, is the fact that there is a black hole at the center of it, thus bringing more mass. So it's all relevant to just about anything you can think of. So this is why I believe Dante has this gravity magic. And I put that in quotes, even though you can't see, because I did just make a video saying that he might not have gravity magic, per se. Or Moris, for that matter, too. So we're going to get to him. So Moris, this is in my head, and I can definitely be wrong. I do not believe whatsoever that the magic that he showed using on Lolopechka was the magic from his own grimoire. I believe that was from his devil. And just to kind of back that up, remember when he used the spell, there was demon-esque aura around it. And yeah, you could say like, oh, it was just being amped by the devil that he's using, sure. But we don't really see that with like Xenon's bones. We don't see that with Vonnega's blood. We haven't seen it with Dante's body magic. It's just their magic, and it gets amped. That's it. So we don't really see this aura around it like we did with Moris, which is why I don't believe it's actually his own magic. And I mean, on top of that, there's also just the lore aspect behind it. So if we go back to the concept of the beasts, Belphegor and Kiowa, they consume everything, and they are also considered, one is the Antichrist and the other is a false prophet. Neither two are fully distinguished as to which one that is, but that's neither here nor there right now. So the point is consumption. And Moris was consuming the information from Lolopechka. This is a form of consumption, and it's a form of destruction as well. This is it's essentially damnatio memoria, and if for those of you not too familiar with the term, we've talked about it before, and especially when damnatio was introduced to the story, is when history has been purposely wiped out to make people forget what actually happened. And it's usually used for manipulation. So this could be the source of that sort of that foul play in history, where things seem to have just been conveniently forgotten over time. And this Belphegor or Kiowa, whoever Moris might have possessing him, is the cause behind that, more than likely, but we'll see. But that is why I believe that Moris has one of the beasts. And so with both of them combined, you would get, the physical aspect of the black sun, where, yes, it would be like gravity. But as I explained, it's Vril, and I do believe Moris is using another form of Vril instead, because like I said, Dr. Carlson put in his book that Belphegor in the middle, in Tigirion, uses power over Vril, which is pretty much the power over chaos. And even Dr. Carlson had a very hard time explaining it, but that's essentially what he chalked it up to. And I think that makes complete sense. Now, you're probably wondering, like, why do we have Charmy's wolf in here? So one of the cool things that Dr. Carlson puts in his book is that not only can we attribute Tigirion to Belphegor, but we can attribute it to Fenrir as well. Now, what makes this a little difficult, which is it's very hard and to put these things together. So like when I put this out to you guys, like I really hope you appreciate it, because it's really hard to mix and match some of these pieces, but it is fun. But I had shown you guys on Twitter that Dr. Carlson says that Fenrir is a part of the lower triad, which would be the astral or the magic triad, which is at the very bottom, which would be between. If we're looking at this, it would be Samael, the Gamaliel, and the Arab-Zarek. That would be the triad that Fenrir would be a part of in Norse mythology. However, in the Gothic Kabbalah, I guess Fenrir ends up moving up to be correspondent to Tigirian. I probably have to look a little more into that if I can to see exactly why Fenrir moves up. Not mad at it whatsoever, because it actually makes a lot more sense to have Fenrir at Tigirian. So we all pretty much know the lore about Fenrir. If you don't, I made a video and I have a thread pinned on my Twitter, so just go read that. But Fenrir is known as a glutton. And one of his other names, there's Gary and Frex, I believe, Freckies, something like that. And they were Odin's wolves. Odin had 2 ravens and 2 wolves. And he fed these wolves the scraps from who they called the chef of the gods. And this chef cooked for, like it says, the gods and the warriors of Valhalla that Odin looked over. And Odin ends up on his mystical journey, ends up meeting Mimir, and Mimir tells a fortune, and he comes across a divination that Odin is going to have to feed himself to Freckies. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name, but I'm pretty sure it's Freckies or something like that. And Freckies is actually another name for Fenrir. So he was saying, like, in order to, you know, the kickstart of Ragnarok is going to be this, and that's ends up being what happened. Excuse me. But if we look at how Charmy's wolf acts in the series, what is it? It's a glutton. It's got spells literally with the word gluttonous in it. So it makes sense that it would correspond with Tigirian or Belphegor and Kiowa, where you're consuming magic, actual magic now. We're not just consuming information. We're consuming the very things that this earth runs on, that the people of it run on, that the nature runs on. You're now consuming all of it. So this could be one of the beasts that's being referred to, possibly. Who knows? I honestly, I doubt it's... I don't know. It could go just a multitude of ways, because let's look at it. If they prefer to be fused, then we could have that count as one, and then Charmy's wolf be another. Or someone here does not fit, and it's between Dante and Moris. And there's a lot more to that. But anyway, I did just want to bring that to you guys' attention, that Crowley has 2 beasts, that Fenrir fits into this at Tigirian. And if not at Tigirian, also fits in Norse mythology at the Arab-Zarek with Asmodeus. But it does make more sense that he's in Tigirian with Belphegor and Kiowa. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Hit me up on Twitter with any questions, concerns, death threats, comments, anything you need. You can more than likely find me there in one of those places, and I'll try my best to get back to you. But stay on the lookout. Me and Broku are working on a collaboration. Should be pretty fire, actually. No one's talked about this possibility at all, especially not into the depths that we're about to do it. So be on the lookout for that. Again, help me on my road to 3.5K. If you guys could share this out, just let you guys, your friends know, like, yo, there's this one dude, Jack. He's he's cool. He's dope. He's got some information about Black Clover, some other series as well. Check him out. If not, we're not friends anymore. Just cut off people that don't want to subscribe. That's all you got to do. Just kidding. So anyway, love you guys. You guys stay safe, stay out the way. It's been Jack OATz the GOAT. You either know or you don't.